with the caveat that we accept the change recommended by the utility board. As you find them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 9, medical finally, discussion possible action, clarification, discounting for water and sewer.
Chairman, a member of Freddie put this on, was basically ended up a discussion item, no action was taken, and clarifying that the street department would come behind the water department and patch after they dig, so they have the time when the weather is approaching. And they have been doing that, but John just wanted it out there, so they talked about it.
Put it on there, okay.
So they talked about it, and
I don't know that John knew what the
I don't
procedure
think John
was,
did know.
the working relationship between the water department and the street department.
And I think it looks like, I mean, in the winter it looks like they aren't doing it, but I think they're doing it.
I think the street department should be responsible for using the streets after the water department did the fixing.
Right, that's what they said, and the street department said they were getting there as fast as they could. But they had 29, 28, 27 that they're behind. So in the winter they can't, they just got their cold mix this week, 2 days ago, and so they're catching up. So in the future, that is their plan, is when they pick them up, that the street department will come by and the water department will fill them up to whatever, 3 or 4 inches, and then the road department will come by and finish it. Because the sooner they get it there, then they don't have to recut the asphalt down. So that was just a discussion item.
It's just basically a discussion, because that's something we already do now.
I think they just work together, and if the street department has the time, they come over and do it. Currently, if the street department does not have the time, then I think the water department does. That's pretty much the way it's.
Yeah, but the equipment's free on Fridays, so in the summertime we try to do as much patching as we can.
Would it be better for them to take full responsibility for it?
If you threw it out there, I mean, I would jump over it.
They should be with all the other patches and potholes that the street department is filling.
But I would just think
take them off
that
that to do this.
you would do the street department with any new ones, they would come in Monday.
Yeah, we can work with them, and
Yeah. And
you know, if we do a dig, like we're going to do one next week, we can just leave it to 3, 4 inches and then call them and they can come in.
I think that was what John was talking about. He wanted that.
And then some of them are going back in the hot mix, which Rec Brothers usually follows up with their patches.
Okay, so it's pretty basically no action. Already. All right, with that, I'll move on to number 7. I'm discussion possible action of city really, this is consent agenda for those of you that don't know. We read in the minutes, and you guys were here for the minutes, so we're going to be going on cycle votes.
We're going to end up doing the same thing that we did when we didn't have, after I guess the last election, where Jennifer will stand up and put on the record that
Yes.
Jennifer right here. Put on the record that this is an accurate rendition of the minutes as conducted on that particular date, and then everybody can vote based on her representation that you're accepting her representation, and thereby making these official minutes. We've had to do this in the past.
All right, let me read the
So we probably should, Mayor, the only thing is should be just
Probably
split
separate.
and not have a consent agenda.
You do it separately?
You just separate.
Okay, for the minutes. Go ahead, Jennifer. Please speak.
Okay, I've listened to the audio for the city council meetings of April 3rd, May 9th, and May 23rd, and the minutes are an accurate representation of what took place.
Okay, and I make a motion on that. Any corrections?
Move to accept her excellent report on the accuracy of the minutes of the
Second.
meetings, so specified.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd have to abstain because I was not at the meeting on the 23rd.
You can just abstain from that particular section.
Yes. Approving the others.
Okay. And number 2 is discussion possible action to pay the bills. Now, they can all pay the bills.
I'd just like to say I'm partnering with one of the members of JCR Construction in another business, but I don't own any JCR.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, B, new business, number 1. Council member, city attorney Bridge, discussion possible action, finalization of land swap between Michael Emmett and the city of Ely for property near Laredo.
For those of you that were on the council prior to this, it seems like it's been 2 years ago or thereabouts where Mr. Lemich presented to us a plan to swap some land down near the railroad. There are 2 small triangular pieces that he would like, and he's transferring much more land than that to the city of Ely to include a couple of the alleyways in that area. That plan in concept was adopted, and then Mr. Lemich was going to prepare some legal descriptions or have legal descriptions prepared. That took a considerable amount of time because I understand Mr. BJ was hired to do those, and then he had a struggle finding appropriate markers because some of those were where the railroad track was, but then the railroad track had been moved in the last 50 years or something like that, and so it was a difficult thing, but ultimately we got those just recently. However, I will be honest, I woke up on Monday night in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, just had a premonition that I hadn't done something with regards to this, and so I pulled out the NRS when I got to work, and I discovered that even though these 2 small pieces are so small that they would not have a viable commercial interest for any other purchaser other than a neighboring landowner, which Mr. Lemich is. So that takes us out of the requirement of getting appraisals and going through all that. It did indicate in the statute that we have to pass a resolution indicating that this is in the best interest of the city. So I would request that the council table this so that I can get a resolution put together and we'll have it on your next agenda so that we can do this properly.
So that would be nice to be able to get out there and look and see what we're actually doing.
And we've got maps.
Yeah, part of it is where there's a triangle part in the middle of the tracks at the railroad that Mike Lemich owns, which he doesn't really want. And part of it is in this map, part of it is these alleys. And it's just, he bought Ely Securities years and years ago, and Ely Securities, whenever the track was, according to their agreement, whenever the track was pulled out of use, then the land reverted back to Ely Securities. So we got that was one of the ways, they got a whole bunch of little pieces of property all around town. Might can get rid of most of them, I'm sure.
So Marty made the motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And number 2, with attorney Fred City Engineer on discussion possible action, proof of agreement between the city of Ely and Baltimore County for transfer of land relating to the golf course well.
BJ and I met with Mike Lemich a couple weeks ago. We thought we had worked out, there were 2 different options. According to Mike, he said what we ought to do is square up the property so that we have just a nicer piece of property that's left and also that is remained around the golf course well. And so we put together 2 options for the county commission to address to see if they would be willing to do this. I attended the county commission meeting yesterday. According to their agenda, it looked like we were going to be in the afternoon, so I went in the afternoon and they had moved it to the morning, so I was not there during that, but I did get up during public comment to find out what they had done. And they decided to table this issue because they want to have a appointed committee, which they're going to do at the next meeting, so that they can then meet with either a committee appointed by the city council, or I had mentioned to them that the city council had directed both myself and BJ to meet with the county and try to work out this property around the golf course well. And so, unless you guys decide otherwise, I had informed the county that whenever they formed their committee that they could meet with the 2 of us to address that. So they didn't take any action on the agreement yesterday. In fact, they didn't even have the agreement presented because they said before they could accept the agreement, which I put together for them, that they needed legal descriptions, and I told them you can't do legal descriptions until you decide which option you want, because then we'll prepare the legal description. You know, it makes no sense to do 2 legal descriptions when we have to create them. But for whatever reason, they thought that they should not do the agreement until we actually had a legal description. So I was hoping that they would at least make a determination as to which option they wanted us to pursue. And, but as of right now, they're going to appoint a committee at their next meeting. So you do have an agreement in your packet, but I would suggest that we hold off on passing that agreement until we figure out what the county wants to do.
I move that we table the agreement until we can hear from our esteemed colleagues in the county.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 3, council members, discussion possible action, consideration of Whatcom County Commissioner's request that the city of Ely pay $19,000 additional for police protection under the proposed fiscal year 2014 interlocal agreement for police and fire animal control.
I'm going to be table till at least the next meeting until the 3 new council people have a chance to meet with the treasurer and go over the budgets and.
I second that.
You want to second that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Number 4, council members, city attorney clerk, discussion possible action approval of consulting services agreed between the city of Ely and Basin Engineering.
This is the agreement based on the last, I think it was the last meeting, since that has been so long ago. We did some changes to BJ's standard contract, and this is what we came up with. It does indicate the monthly fee of, is it $4,200, then $4,400 the second year, and $4,600 the third year for his services.
I have 2 questions about his contract. One of them was the ownership of the work product. That would be 6-1. It says the consultant shall be the sole owner and author of its work. I thought if we paid for the work, it should be ours.
You will. You will absolutely get copies of everything that we do. It's just the fact that I will also have a copy of that. If Kevin wants to change that, so whatever, I mean, I have no intention of
Can we make that co-owners?
co-ownership fine.
That's fine.
I got one question, similar to what Councilman Burns said. For example, engineering, they send over the landfill stuff to you, it's still yours now, or do, I mean, they send it to a Basin City School.
Yeah, no, anything that we do for the state.
And this question I have is, would be 92, liability. It says it's only $50,000. I think that's awfully low, isn't it? I mean, liability insurance. And I'm not engineer, but I know how much liability I have as a farmer. I have $3 million of personal liability insurance
Yeah,
myself.
we do have a liability insurance.
So I think, to me, comparing that to $50,000, and we have projects that are, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $50,000 doesn't seem right to me, but maybe it is.
But we do carry a liability insurance of, I believe it's $1 million, I think $2 million aggregate, I believe. I think you guys have already provided that prior to, I believe, having an option.
For me?
A copy of our insurance.
Why shouldn't that be not be in there?
I agree.
I mean, if
That
we
was
just
one of the
says,
concerns that I
we just
had.
had, if the contractor agreed that he has $1 million with $2 million aggregate, that's, to me, that should be listed in the contract, not the $50,000.
Rather than limiting the liability to $50,000.
Right.
I mean, despite how much insurance he has, you can still limit that liability to the maximum amount that would be paid on any potential claim.
To me, this limits, I mean, even though he has more insurance, it limits it down to 50.
This would limit it to 50, yeah.
Sure, that is an issue. Good grief, I as a teacher have $1,500,000 every need in case I take my own students.
I mean, if we can't, if we have that on file anyway, can't we just change this contract to read what you already have? You see it?
Our insurance.
Yeah.
How about if we put in her liability, maybe we would put our insurance on here, I mean, that the insurance we provided has this liability. this amount of liability.
Well, basically, that's all we're asking.
And take out the $50,000 limit.
Um, You know, I guess one of the things that's coming in here is you should put a liability that's relative to the project. You know, if we're doing a $50,000 project, the liability should be limited to the price of that project. You know, come back both ways. If we're doing a $200,000 project, they go to the construction, there were some issues, we have to come back and address. I should be held liable for $1 million for that. So we can get it fixed and redone for.
Yes, certainly, that,
I mean, that's right, but this way it's limited to us to only 50,000. So, I mean, but if you had to put your policy is that it probably says in there, then it's.
I'm sure your insurance company is going to address the issues to where, I mean, obviously you can't make a claim for more than what the project is worth. So your insurance company would allow us to do that.
Yeah, no, I would assume that we come back in here, maybe we change that from a dollar amount to relative to the project.
how about this, Kevin, I'm obviously not an attorney, but wording to the effect that the consultant shall maintain a liability insurance policy of,
No
Yes,
less than.
yeah, exactly.
and whatever your numbers are, you know, $1 million per occurrence, $2 million
Yes,
aggregate.
exactly.
Is that a suitable way to ensure that insurance is being held?
And then we obviously give you an insurance certificate that you guys are named on.
Right. Be named as additional insurance.
That includes your errors and omissions insurance, this liability insurance that you talked about.
I'll have to go back and look at that. I'm not sure right off the top of my head. I mean, we do this quite regularly for our clients. Plenty of our clients ask for these things, and insurance puts them
Those
on.
emissions would be really good, especially considering the recent discussion that we've had considering installation up there in Terrace area. So.
I was sort of, in my mind, I read that as errors and omissions.
Yeah, I thought it was in that same paragraph. Errors or omissions, claims of professional errors or omissions. I don't have the pages numbered, but it's the second page of the 9.2 deal. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines.
Yeah. So that would be the same. So if we already have that, he already provides that, we just need to change this document so it matches
To
that.
reflect that.
To reflect
Okay.
We'll take out the limitation of liability and just put an insurance required or something.
Yes.
You done, Ben? Maybe some other figures, and is that all right, just go ahead and vote on this? You said something about other figures on the insurance.
Oh, well, I don't believe it would be an issue.
No, that's it.
I'll make the changes and send them to you so that you can take a look at them and see what you think, and then send them, well,
Well, I can vote on it as
as
amended with those two amendments. I move we approve the contract with the two.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Vote.
Thank you.
And number 5, council member, City Attorney Briggs, discussion possible action, approval of first reading of ordinance 658, bill number 2013-4, ordinance establishing cross connection control and commercial uses of the City of Ely's water system to prevent backflow and back seepage into the City of Ely water system.
And we've already addressed this from the utility board, so we shouldn't have had this on twice. I'm sorry I didn't post that.
Oh, we've already done this now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We just did that when we were dealing with idea or deals recommended by the utility.
Jim Darrington.
Yeah, that was kind of the same line.
That's a duplicate.
So we just, since we've already voted on this, we'll go ahead and pass it up. For number 6. Council member, City Attorney Briggs, discussion possible action, approval of first reading of ordinance 659, bill number 2013-05, and ordinance amending City of Ely Code 4-2-5, to indicate the property owner who takes his refuge to another landfill and provides proof of payment to another landfill will be relieved of his obligation to pay landfill fees to the city of Ely.
And because this was in our ordinance currently, it seemed like it was a year and a half ago that the ordinance was created establishing that a person that lived in the county that took his trash to a different or an adjoining county's landfill or to an adjoining landfill, if he provided proof of payment, that he would be given credit for that amount of payment. However, then the city council a couple meetings ago decided that they thought they ought to receive a full credit for whatever landfill fees would be assessed against him if they were taking their trash to another landfill. So this just changes that to reflect your decision to give them full credit, so that they would not owe the city really anything, but they still have the obligation to provide us proof that they're taking their refuse and paying to another landfill.
Does this impact?
It primarily impacts people that live close to the Eureka County border, because Eureka landfill is much closer than ours, so they're claiming that they're taking their things there. There are a few people, I believe, in Baker, in that area, that take their landfill to someplace in Utah, or take their garbage to someplace in Utah. So I think
A couple of days ago, about the property in Cherry Creek, he's trying to sort of line up.
I think he got it taken care of.
Cherry Creek, I haven't talked to anybody in Cherry Creek for a while.
Well, the guy, he called me
and I-
someplace and
Okay, the next one.
died or something or other.
Oh, this is the one that the lady who lives in Southern Nevada, and she ended up paying it.
Okay, so, this is the first reading of, you guys have kind of an understanding of what's going on here? with this?
Absolutely.
I know you do. I know you do. I haven't been about 3 years.
I move we accept the new ordinance.
Okay.
As the first one.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Okay, number 7, council member city attorney Grace discussion possible action approval of first reading of ordinance 660, bill number 2013-06, ordinance amending the C2 zone to allow for hospitals and other related medical facilities without a special use permit. This is going to have a lot to do with the current thing for dialysis.
We discovered that when they came in to get approved for the dialysis center, that we had no zoning area where either a hospital or any kind of medical facility could operate without at least getting a special use permit. We thought that was a wrong thing, that we should have a zone where those things could happen, where they wouldn't have to come and spend money to the city to get a special use permit. And so, and we brought that up to the council before. We decided that the best thing to do would be just to change the C2 zone to allow without a special use permit a hospital or other related medical facilities. So this is reflective of that. Currently, in a C2 zone, those are allowed, but only with a special use permit.
Well, actually, it's not going to be zoned,
This isn't dealing with changing the zoning.
It's residential, no?
It is, and ultimately, we will be trying to change that zoning for the entire hospital area to a C2 zone. We've been working with the hospital, Brad's not here, but we've been working with the hospital people on getting this done. And in order to not prevent the dialysis center from going in, the council did grant a temporary occupancy of the dialysis center so that they could get in and start serving clients there.
I move that we accept this zoning proposed change to allow that dialysis center to come to
You'll still have a zone change application come through, but this is changing the law so that zone change application can come through.
Okay, whatever, I move that we do it.
Second.
Some discussion about that. I'm in full agreement with this. I'm sorry that I didn't bring a copy of it. Mr. Mary wrote a letter on June 10th to Deborah Tannenbaum about this issue, and I think he meant to say the residential zoning does not allow for, et cetera, et cetera. What you said was does. And I don't know whether you want to follow up with her, that that was simply a typo. I'm sorry, I didn't bring a copy of the letter there.
So I'll check it. You have a copy of it.
You might want to just follow up with her, because the letter says this zoning does allow, that just doesn't fit the rest of the letter. The letter, it's obviously a typo, but
We'll check that.
it's a courtesy to follow up with her.
All fair say aye.
Aye.
And, opposed, no. Dale, do you have any idea what the time goes along that point? I was just wondering.
They haven't got far enough, they haven't got the plans to us, so we can go out to bid. As soon as they get the plans, we'll go out to bid, and it'll be quick.
We may have the zoning and everything changed before they're.
I know, I just asked Marna this morning.
Yours will be better. Okay, number 8, council member, city clerk, all work, discussion, possible action, approval to sell surplus vehicles, equipment, and materials to the higher federal. What do you got for sale here?
Actually, just a list of stuff the supervisor put together, unused items in the respective areas. So, that's what it is. Even though, for example, it's saying the location, the city yard, some of the stuff is not there yet. It will be placed in there once the council approves it, or takes it off, or adds, whatever. Just the idea is to just, and I just throw them up and all.
The items can't be used by any of the other departments, or have they been offered to the other departments?
Yeah, that's what we said at the staff meeting, and asked if anybody think what the sales is, put it on the table.
Any other questions on this? I'll put stuff over some.
I move to accept Jim Allward's list of equipment for sale.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 9, council member, city treasurer trash. Discussion possible action approval of resolution 2013-02 for the purpose of augmenting the city of Ely redevelopment fund for the unbudgeted engineering expenses from Crown. We'll talk a little about that. Oh, you disappeared on me, didn't you? Okay.
This is just the legal process we have to do. This fund had, we never budgeted any expense in it, but we incurred some engineering expense, so to make it right, we have to augment the budget.
Any questions you got about this? Any motion?
I'm moving on that.
Second.
All fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. And number 10, council member, oh, you stole it there. City city treasurer trash, discussion possible action for the resolution 2013-03 for the purpose of augmenting the city of the capital project fund using revenue generated by Ely Fire Department for responding to out-of-county persons who are involved in accidents in White Plains County, on which the fire department must respond. The fund will be applied toward the payment of the fire station.
This process is done on a yearly basis. The monies that the fire department brings in on responding goes into the general fund. We then augment it into the capital improvement fund, which makes the payments for the fire department.
Jeff, how much money are we talking about?
This time was $7,720.
Which comes from?
It comes from the revenue generated from the fire department's runs.
So did we pay an extra $7,700 on principal?
No, we just put it in there because they don't generate enough to make the full payment. We just apply any of the revenue
Okay.
to the capital improvement fund to help fund.
So we're subsidizing them?
Just to give you a background, the fire department, when they travel out of the city area to respond to calls for like a car accident or something along those lines, they then charge that person that is involved. Generally, their insurance pays the response fee or whatever it is, and so this is the monies that get generated from that. rather than utilizing that in the general fund, it's best to let that be applied to the payment of the fire station.
We don't budget enough in the budget to make the monthly payments on the fire station?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I meant, we're take, if we don't add this, the $7,000 doesn't go just to principal, you don't make an extra payment, principal payment?
I don't believe, I can check on, I don't believe our loan on that, there's not a payment to really pay off, I see what you're saying. But then we kept a 3-year reserve in there, if something drastic happens to the city, we'd be able to pay on the fire station for 3 years. That's what this stuff goes in to build up that fund, it's $32,000 or $33,000 a year principal and interest. But we have a balance in there of a 3-year thing, and whatever that's going to be. So we know we haven't paid extra on that for.
So you look and see if there's a penalty to pay down the principal, you wouldn't want to do that, but.
This is a USDA loan that we are paying on, so I would have to check on that.
One other question. In the resolution itself, hereby authorize augmentation of capital project fund for revenue generated for out-of-county persons?
That's correct, because it's only residents. Residents of White Pine County are not charged for the fire services.
Okay, so these would just be persons that do not live within White Pine County?
Like somebody from Montana.
Yeah. We should charge them double.
Okay, any other questions? Unless a motion.
I move we augment this.
I'll second that.
Favor say that.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, number 11, council members, discussion, possible action, consideration to obtain a form of appointment to the Robinson Nevada Mining Company for donating payment for the Tiger Grant for the application grant writer, rail line, rehabilitation cost and benefits for the analyst of $4 million worth of rock and the Tiger Grant. This reports is what we have in the trustees.
We were approached probably 4 years ago by our auditor indicating that things that you do, if you take action as a trustee of the Northern Nevada Railway, you're wearing the hat as a trustee at that time, that in order to make that effective on behalf of the city council, you also have to take the same action wearing that hat as a city councilman. So this is just, even though it's the same item that you've done when you were doing it as a trustee of the Nevada Northern Railway Board, you now have to do it on behalf of the city. So technically, you're looking out for the best interests of the Nevada Northern Railway, which is acting as a trustee of that entity, and now you're looking out for the best interest of the city.
So you can really confuse Jennifer if you go with that's all one.
I move we direct Jennifer to write a similar letter.
And it would be the same letter.
No, we don't want the same letter, I want a similar letter.
I'll second that.
All fair side?
Aye.
Discussion.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of this, but I just want to stress again that we need to get it clearly defined what that is, $4 million worth of rock. There's an implication that's been made that this would be crushed and ready to be suitable for ballast when we receive that. And I just want to get that.
Actually, from discussions, just to give you a further discussion, I don't believe that they're going to crush the rock for us. They're going to donate the rock, but I think we still have, just as I recall from meetings that we've had with the people at the mine, it's my understanding that they're not going, they don't have the capability to crush the rock.
I just want to make it clear that we're thanking them here, but we need to quantify exactly what we're accepting. I vote aye.
I was just waiting for anything else. Okay. All right, well now we're on number 8, reports, starting with Marty Russell, the old man was being back.
Yeah, I'm alive. That's all I have to report.
Okay.
I have no report.
I attended the meeting 2 nights ago about Herman's Lake and the mercury contamination there, and was impressed by the amount of tourism dollars which we have lost because of the signage there, which is indicating that you have to be careful about what you eat, when in reality, probably fish there aren't any worse than what you're pulling out of the ocean in terms of albacore or anything else. But the proposals to mitigate that problem were varied and also very expensive. And we want to move ahead with them. At least that was the feeling of the majority of the people who were there, which I think we ought to go on board in supporting that, because it does have a direct impact on our tourism dollars that we have here. One of the participants said that he's watched things diminish by approximately 90% in terms of the people that are there fishing. And they used to come from all over the Intermountain area just to fish.
This has been a Georgetown Media production. George Chachis reporting. The preceding program was sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Ely TV, Channel 3-2 in Ely, Nevada. Local news telecasts can be seen Monday through Friday at 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. on this station.